Scream, the 2022, is that right? Is that the word? Is that the year? Scream, the 2022 requel, and I'm going to use requel from now on. Finally here. We just got back from seeing it. Look at this. Look at that. Some guy was dressed up as Casey Becker, and he had a little ghost face head. It was fun. It was so wonderful. It's finally here. We've finally seen it for the first time. I will see this many more times in my life, because as I've said before, Scream is my favorite franchise of all time. But this will be our spoiler-free review. Maybe. I don't know. It's going to be our spoiler-free review, because, I don't want to spoil it. I don't want anyone to have this spoiled. I cried once.
So did I.
We cried. Hello, everybody. My name's Cody. This is my beautiful wife.
Bridget.
Bro.
Sorry. I'm watching this.
Sorry, I want to keep watching these. No, I'm recording footage, so I have it for the review. It may be my second favorite of the franchise. How do you feel about that? If you would have to rank it right now? It's tough. I want to see it more.
I think so.
I'm not positive yet.
I know.
I want to see more.
I think I want to see it again.
We got to see it again. We have
just
to
make sure.
So it's really hard to talk about this movie without spoiling it, because there are things almost immediately in this movie within 20 minutes or so that has not been talked about at all, would be a huge spoiler for a lot of the motivation of the movie in general. But They hit it very well. I think they handled the marketing on this movie fantastically. I believe the cinematography is top notch. I believe the story, I think it all went very well. So usually here, when we review movies, we will rate them on our own criteria list. I think some people take movies too seriously.
Die-hard fans.
True fans, if you will. Just as all the trailers indicated, got all the old legacy cast back, got a whole bunch of new cast, and it almost was playing into how Scream 4 did. New decade, we got new rules, and even since Scream 4, 10 years, horror has changed again, and this movie has a lot to say about all of that. Elevated horror fandom, all of that ties in, and they do the meta and the comedy of Scream very well here, I think. Like, this is the only film not directed by Wes Craven, and you feel that, but it feels very much in line with Scream. Like, there's nothing disappointing here. That it doesn't not feel like a Scream movie at all.
Right.
It feels very fantastic as far as Scream movie goes. I guess the first thing we want to talk about is the Ghostface himself.
Oh my god.
This might be my favorite, Ghostface.
He
looks the Ghostface
so
himself.
Fucking badass.
The cinematography of him, the way they film him, the aggressiveness of this Ghostface and the kills, top tier.
Brutal.
Absolute top tier. I still think Scream 4, Olivia's death, might still be the craziest Ghostface, the most brutal Ghostface kill. Although there's some brutal things in here. He was absolutely brutal in this movie in ways we've never seen before, I would say. Very tricky, very sneaky. So yeah, when we review movies on this channel, again, we're kind of we're not critics.
We're very pleased with everything.
We're very
somehow.
We are usually very less critical than most people. I think when people, especially anybody who becomes a movie critic too, I feel like you become almost jaded the way you think about movies and the way they are supposed to be and blah blah blah. Our criteria might be a little different. We judge our movies based on the acting performances, the visual aesthetics, the storytelling, and the entertainment value. Please go see this movie if you haven't, or if you plan to, go see this movie. Avoid spoilers. Take it all in all of its glory. But let's just start from the top. Let's get our review in here. Acting performances. How did you feel, Bridget?
Loved them all.
Young cast, old cast.
Actually, maybe okay. I loved them. The new cast?
New cast and old cast. Old cast is easier. I'll say.
Obvious, yeah.
Dewey has such a fantastic story in this. And Dewey he's Dewey, but it feels like they respected Dewey a lot more than Dewey has been respected in the past. For sure, the OG cast, 5 out of 5, easy.
Yeah.
For me, because they are Sidney, Gale, Dewey. fantastic.
The twins, fucking love the twins.
The twins were fantastic.
I don't know why I like didn't feel like Sam was like the best.
See, that's what I'm seeing that a lot from other people too. They're like, a lot of people aren't completely sold on Sam as the new lead of the franchise. There were definitely stronger performances in here. Sam's sister Tara was amazing.
Yes.
I think Sam was good. It's hard to talk more about it without spoiling it because there's things going on with her. She was good. Jack Quaid, Richie, Sam's boyfriend, I think he did fantastic. He was funny, good one-liners.
He was funny.
Dylan Minnette was good.
Ammar.
And all of them fantastic in the role. I think as a group, I really liked the group chemistry.
I did not like Amber like in the beginning.
Well, she's like a dick.
She grew on me.
Yeah. As a group, I liked them as a group. I've been seeing people get upset about this group of friends. There's a new Ghostface coming to town. And throughout the movie, these people are kind of looking at each other as suspects.
Yeah.
This is the 5th time that Ghostface is murdering people. I think they had every right to be suspicious as hell of each other. And they know it's always someone you know. It's the goddamn tagline. So I'm not too upset by that. I'm giving that the acting a 5 out of 5. I think everyone played their role perfectly. Again, there could be an argument to be said that Sam wasn't the strongest lead.
Yeah.
But I still think it worked out well. I'll give it a 5 out of 5.
Yeah, I agree.
I feel like. Visual aesthetics of the movie?
Oh my God.
I'll let you start.
No, I fucking loved it. The camera work and him, I don't know.
Dude, the cinematography
creepy.
was on
It was
point.
so good.
The coloring, you don't have to worry about that Scream 4 bright, smudgy look that everyone hates. The cinematography was fantastic.
So good.
They really did an amazing job making Ghostface a terrifying figure at times. Just the way the camera would look at him, the way that Ghostface would loom over people, over its victims. And Ghostface was fucking brutal.
Yeah.
He was scary. Probably my favorite Ghostface for sure. Even if this is my 2nd or 3rd favorite Scream movie, the way they filmed it,
the sparkly
the brutality, cape. The sparkle robes, the cape.
Sparkly robe. I'm sorry.
So yeah, the visual aesthetics.
The voice box.
The voice. Oh yeah, it came out in a trailer that Ghostface has the voice changer kind of built into the mask, which I wish they would have utilized even more. But it does get utilized in a way that I've always wanted it to be, to bring a new dynamic. So hey, easy 5 out of 5 on the visual aesthetics.
Yeah.
Easy. Storytelling. This could be the part you got to think about. Because this is the hardest one to not give away.
I know.
I will give it a 4.5. I'm just gonna come right out the bed.
It was pretty fucking weird to me for I don't know. It was so.
It's hard.
It wasn't random, but I wish I knew how it could be. You know what I'm saying?
No, I mean from the beginning. All right, the setup. The setup I think was very strong. The opening sequence. Bringing all the cast in the way they do, the way they introduce Ghostface, I think it was all fantastic. In the first act, there was a huge spoiler, as I mentioned before, which I don't want to talk about until people have seen it, because you should see it. It's a big part of this movie. That's where things, I'm still processing, deciding how I feel about it. But yeah, I'm still processing a little bit of the big main storyline. I think you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I don't understand.
I understand.
Do, but I want to understand more.
I want to know more. I do want to know more, and that's what this movie kind of sets up, where we can get a new set of Scream movies that don't necessarily have to rely on the OG cast anymore of Sidney, Gale, Dewey.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm okay with anybody who wants to come back in future if they hopefully make more movies. The killers, the reveal, the motivation. I'm totally okay with the motivation. I like the motivation.
No, it was really, it was pretty tense.
It was intense. The suspicions. You're gonna be suspicious of a lot of people, I think, at different points, and I think
literally
they played
everybody.
that pretty well.
Every single
almost
person
everybody,
in this movie.
you get suspicious at one point. But I'm very happy. I'm gonna give it a 4.5 on the story for now. Again, I think we need to take it in a couple more times and really decide ranking it amongst the other Screams. 4.5. Entertainment value, 5 out of 5 for me.
Oh my God, yes.
100%.
Oh yeah.
Again, the brutality here of Ghostface, I'm totally into the
kills were
motivation,
crazy.
the kills, all of that. The way it ended, the tears came at times. There was, my hands were at my face a lot.
Right? Yeah, they were. All night, the whole time.
Stress. I had pure stress. Man, it was so good. Overall, what will you give this movie then?
A 5.
5?
Yeah.
I'm gonna give it a 5. Honestly, if nothing
fuck me.
else.
Wow, really? Legit.
Fuck me. Wow. See, people sometimes will argue about what their favorite Scream movie is. A lot of people mostly will say Scream 3 is the worst Scream. Scream 3 is still a good Scream movie. And I think what this movie did was continue the legacy of there is not a bad Scream movie. I think people will rank this movie high. I think the first Scream will forever be king.
Oh yeah.
Because it was so original.
The original's the best.
I think this movie, people say it. I think Wes Craven would have liked this movie.
Yeah, I think so.
I think they did the Scream legacy proud. Again, I don't know.
It all came together.
I think it's
at
my
the
second
end.
favorite. But again, this felt like a modern Scream movie, and that's why I like it so much. I think they did it so well, and it is a good modern, just visually, story-wise take with Scream that they pulled it off. And I wanted that. Like, I wanted it to be modernized. And I want there to be they can continue Scream because Ghostface is a terrifying figure. And they prove that in this movie. He can be pretty fucking brutal and terrifying. And at its heart, Scream is a whodunit. And it's just so much fun. And this movie was just so much fun. It was tense for me.
It was so tense.
It was emotional. And I think there's a clear path forward to continue with some characters and keep Scream alive, and I really hope they do that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I was thinking what they could do.
I mean,
oh my God.
But I think that's all we can really say without spoiling anything. And I would like to talk some spoilers. I don't know that we'll do that here, or maybe I will. And if we do keep talking real quick, spoiler alert! Don't look past here if you haven't seen the movie, because I did want to talk to you a little bit about this movie.
Dewey dies. God damn it.
All right, let's just talk about it. So the movie starts with the phone call to Tara, just like this, the all the trailers have shown, and everybody's like, "Great, they ruined the opening kill." But, and I knew it. I fucking knew it.
I don't know. You were kind of hesitant.
Didn't have an opening. Well, she looked like she was dead when the screen.
She should have been fucking dead.
She should have been. She was stabbed 7 times. She had her fucking leg broken. That was crazy to me.
That was awful.
That was
an
intense conversation. One of the greatest conversations, I think, between Ghostface and
yeah.
just the casualness.
Oh my God.
Bringing it back.
It was really stressful.
Feeling nostalgic, but also feeling new in a great way.
So stressful.
I think it was a fantastic opening. And it's crazy to think it wasn't an opening kill.
No.
Like, that's weird. But it felt like an opening kill.
It
was that brutal and intense.
You really thought she died.
Really brings stakes because obviously it brings her sister Sam, who's the main character, back. And it puts Tara in this vulnerable state the entire movie because she's been stabbed. She can't walk. She's really...
Yeah, she's fucked.
She's in it. Sam comes in. She brings her boyfriend along of 6 months. They find out it was Ghostface killer. And Sam is very stressed because of her secret. And what is her secret? We find out very quickly into the movie. She's Billy Loomis's daughter. Can you fucking believe this? Hold up. How many years has it been online? People are like, the killer's gonna be the illegitimate son or daughter of Sidney and Billy because of the sex scene in Scream. And you know what's fucked up? I've been speculating the past couple of years. I'm like, Bridget, what if they got the Stu Mocker house? What if like Stu seemed like a wild card? I could see him cheating on Tatum easily. I could see him getting someone else knocked up and them not wanting to talk about it. But it was Billy the whole fucking time.
Billy.
Holy shit. It makes sense. It was confusing. The conflicting part for me, even more than I can believe all that, she can see Billy. Skeet
Oh
Ulrich
my
is in
God.
this movie.
Yes.
Wait, what?
What? The first fucking time we were like, what
I was
the
like, what is
fuck?
happening? That's not him. That is
It
him.
is him.
And it's weird. And it's that's why the processing part of this movie, where I really need to see this a couple more times. Like literally, she sees him in the rearview mirror of her car.
Yep.
And he talks to her. And
In the mirror at the hospital.
it was shocking. I think that actually the storyline works very well in this movie.
Right.
She's worried she's gonna be him, and that's a very legitimate thing to feel. Like, I get it. I mean, so I guess this movie in that sense does tackle mental health issues quite head on. But yes, Dewey, man, from retired, he's separated from Gale. He lives in this trailer. He's so goofy, Dewey at heart there, but he's so weathered and just, people say old man Dewey. And
sad. He's sad.
He is very heartbroken, and you feel it. Like, I was so emotional almost any Dewey scene. Like when they come to visit him and he's funny, and like he immediately calls out her boyfriend. How long have you known him? 6 months. Obviously, you're the killer. And he was. Dewey's arc here played out so well. He was very sad that he isn't with Gale. You can see it, and he watches Gale's morning show because I think what had happened was Gale got her job, morning show. Dewey tried to go with her, and he just couldn't do it. And that was depressing when he just said, like, I could do it. He left in the middle of the night and went back to Woodsboro, and it was so heartbreaking. Oh, it was they pulled on all the emotional heartstrings. Dewey comes in to be that voice of reason, to give those rules to the new cast, let them know everyone here is a suspect. But then also just to help when that's where I said some of the wasted potential was with Dylan Minnette, because I think he's such a really good actor, but they killed him off pretty early. And Judy Lemon Squares, and that was an insane middle of the day kill for me. Judy leaves and Wes is taking the shower, and like Ghostface, and he calls Judy and she's speeding back, and you're like, oh no.
I thought she was about to get in a car accident and just fucking, that's how she was gonna die.
I was like, oh no, one of them's gonna die. Who is it gonna be? Is like Wes gonna be dead, or is she gonna be dead?
Nope, she died.
They both died. Ghostface fucking, as Judy's running to the house in her front yard, murders her. And it just spoke to the like craziness and psychoticness of this Ghostface to do that. And then to kill Wes. And it was funny because they're playing like on the joke of the behind the door.
Yes.
Like that's where the humor.
And you're like, oh, here it is. No.
By the third one in a row, everyone in the theater kind of had to start laughing because it was funny. But then Ghostface, when he showed up, it was so intense, and I felt for him in that moment.
Yeah.
I will say, in his death, like I felt like the terror, and just you watch the knife go in one part of his throat and out the other, and then the Ghostface has that little bit of that side look that the Ghostface gets. It gets me every time. After the Wes and Judy Hicks death, Dewey accompanies Sam back to the hospital, and I've been saying it. I've known it. I've been mentally preparing. Dewey is gonna die here, and it was such a beautiful scene, though. Of course, Richie comes in and he gets his arm slashed.
Oh, weird.
And I knew it. I was looking for who's gonna get their arm slashed, but not at all killed. Ghostface gets shot up, and it's beautiful. They're gonna get away. But what did he go back for?
Goes back to get his last shot.
He goes back to be the killer, and then his phone rings, and it was Gale, and then knife right in the front, knife right in the back, bloody, brutal, heartbreaking tears.
Awful.
And then Ghostface with its built-in mask. It's an honor. The honor was to kill you, to kill Dewey, to kill a legacy character. And it hurts my heart, and it was beautiful, and it worked so well. It makes me so just depressed. But I love it, but I hate it.
I know.
It's so good. If Dewey had to die, they did it in such a wonderful. I had chills and tears, and oh god, it hurts my heart still. That's what finally brings Sidney in. Sam actually an updated character. We're getting out of Woodsboro. We're gonna do what nobody ever fucking does. We're gonna fucking
get the
leave.
fuck out of here.
We're just gonna leave. So Sidney and Gale want her to help kill her. Oh, we talk about the awesomeness. that Sidney has kids with Mark Kincaid. I was hoping he would make an appearance, but not this time. But she's, I have kids now. I'm not gonna sleep till this dude is in the ground, because it always comes back to the original. She's the original. They didn't want to help. Sidney pulls that Gale Weathers move and tracks their car to follow them.
And where'd they end up?
And Tara doesn't have her inhaler. Well, let's just leave. Fuck that. Can't you wait? Nope, can't wait. We gotta go to Amber's. Where does Amber live? Stu Macher's house. Third act. Fucking party at Stu's. And right off the rip. So Amber the whole time, she's a bitch. She's so protective of Tara.
Mm-hmm.
You
Makes
don't
sense
trust
now.
her. You don't trust her, but you don't really all you get from her is she's kind of a bitch and she's kind of to the side. So she's like a suspect, but I'm not fully on board until I realize, oh, Amber lives at Stu's house.
That makes sense.
I was definitely way more suspicious from there on, and she still kept being a bitch. Party goes on. I start getting suspicious of Liv.
Yeah.
As she's making out with Chad. Chad was funny, and I love Chad and Mindy. Mindy. They're probably two of my favorite characters from this movie, the way they play it off. But, he accuses Liv. Liv storms off. He goes to find her. He's tracking her.
Oh, my God. That whole fucking scene was scary.
Ghostface
out of the
fucked
fucking...
him up in the leg. Gets away. Popping back out of the shed. Chasing him down. Stabbing him. Really sad. But had to stop because Sidney and them arrived. Ghostface had to flee. No one saw Chad until Liv finds him later with blood. So you're like, oh no, here comes Liv, who we haven't seen in a while, covered in blood. But she kept acting creepy and weird. But again, with these movies, the first time you see them, everybody at some point has that suspicion.
Yes.
And you're like, I don't know if you are. So I didn't trust her. Everyone comes in. You found Chad. What happened? She's like, I swear I found him. I'm not the killer. And Amber said, yeah, I know. Boom! Right in the fucking head. I was like, holy shit, that felt fast. That felt real fast and early. And she said, welcome to the third act. Oh God, I was there. I was ready. But we knew there was another one. We just still couldn't pinpoint who.
Yep.
It's hard to remember. At first watch. But Minnie gets attacked, stabbed, Ghostface flees. That's when Liv came in with all the blood, and Amber comes in with... Oh, Amber was with Tara.
Yeah, they both came in.
So what happened was Richie went to the basement for beers, and then came back up as Ghostface.
Yes.
That's what ended up happening. But then he shows up again around the corner. I was in the basement. Whatever. But I think I didn't mind Amber's reveal. I thought, holy fuck.
That was fucking
It hit
amazing.
so quick and fast and shocking. And then you're like, I kind of thought it could have been her. But then you're like, who's the other one? And then the suspicion really crept in.
Yeah,
And
Tara.
they kind of are trying to implant it a little bit. Bridgie said, I think it's your sister. And before that, I was like, dude, I fucking think it's her sister too. I know she stabbed the fuck up and all, but it almost feels like revenge in a way. And I did fall for it. I was thinking it might be Tara. It might be Richie. I couldn't decide between the two. We knew it wasn't Liv after she got shot in the fucking face.
Well,
So
until
was it
they
really
went to the
between those two?
basement, Sam and Richie went to the basement. He's like, there's always still two killers.
Yes.
And then we're like, fucking knew it. Then he's like,
But he
It's
was
your
freaked
sister.
out. Yeah.
what? No, yeah,
So
you're right.
Sam had to make that decision. She found Tara tied up in the closet. Didn't know if she could trust her. Cuts away, we end up finding out. That was good. Sidney going around the house, talking to Ghostface, shooting through doors. She ends up shooting Richie in the leg. And she's like, why'd you come out? And he's like, well, you're shooting everybody. I'm freaking out. And I believed him still.
Right.
He shot in the leg. And then Ghostface does attack her. And you're like, oh, shit. So Amber didn't have the Ghostface on when we last saw her. So we're just thinking, oh, shit, this is the other Ghostface. Who is it?
Because they look so tall.
They always, you never know when they're in that Ghostface mask.
And the grunts.
There's grunts, but you never know what's attributed to the Roger Jackson voice and all. Dude, Sidney knocks her right off the second floor balcony, basically, into the entrance of the house. Richie, he's going down the steps with his gunshot, like, I'm trying to help, you shot me.
Oh my God.
Sam shows back up and he stabbed her. And then that's the reveal. Super fans.
Super
That's
fans.
basically what they are.
True
This
fans.
Dude, true fans of the Stab
'Cause
franchise.
they talk and make fun of you. They talk shit about us.
This is almost basically poking fun at super fans that are so hell-bent that anything ruins like what was mine, and they were so pissed off by the way the Stab reboot came around that it's ruining their childhood, their life. These movies mean a lot to people, and they do. It speaks to toxic fandom is what it is.
And now it goes back to the original. That's
And
what
it
they
goes
wanted
back
to
to
do
the
because
original.
they brought the original people back.
How did you know she was Billy Loomis's kid? Well, I guess they explain that as whoever their mom is, who we still don't know. A bit of a
Was a
drunk,
drunk
small
and
town. I can
talks.
see how that could get out here or there, but you would think that her other daughter would know if these people were able to
Right.
find out. There's a little loose ends, and I think that's another knock in the story. Like I want to know a little more about how they find this out, you know. But just like toxic people do, they found each other on Reddit, and they decided we have some similar ideas and. Scream, Stab, whatever. It needs a new story. It needs a fresh take. You know, the movies are always best when they were based on real events. And obviously Sidney, you gotta have Sidney there to kill her. You gotta have the originals. You have to have the new cast. You have to bring them together. But obviously, you're Billy Loomis's daughter. You're the villain here.
Yep.
So I get their motive. I think their
Yeah.
motive worked very well. I think the way they played it out. I think I like the way it was a meta. It was a fucking meta reason for doing it. It
Amber
worked.
reminded me of Stu in a way
Amber did.
because she was fucking crazy.
She was crazy. She was all about
Like
him
Stu.
and that's her boyfriend and.
And then
But then, yeah, dude. From that point on, so Tara ended up being
And then
gone
she
because
attacked
they
her
found
with her
out that
crutch.
Sam actually you weren't convincing enough. Richie, she did let her sister go. Sidney and Gale fucked Amber up.
yeah,
They
Yeah,
fucking
they did.
smashed that bitch with the bottle. They picked her ass up and threw her over the counter. It was beautiful. Amber starts freaking like, "Oh, leave me alone. You know, it's not my fault." Like, shut up, bitch. You
Right.
murdered Dewey. And she was all like, "Yeah, it was great. I can't wait to murder you and shit." Like, fucking dumbass. Yeah, Gale got to shoot her, and that felt good.
yeah.
And then she was the one who got caught
on fire.
which was beautiful. So Sidney, Gale, they take care of Amber. When they revealed Richie and Amber, like I felt it. Like I feel like they pulled it off. The crazy, even if no matter how people feel about the movie, I think it worked amazingly for the requel, for the modern, for the meta, for everything. I liked it. And I feel like they pulled it off. I loved watching Sidney and Gale get to fuck up Amber for killing Dewey. Ends up basically a 1v1, Richie versus Sam.
Yeah.
And
Sam
she's still seeing
sees
her
him,
dad again.
yeah.
We're seeing Skeet. We're seeing Billy Loomis.
Do
And
it.
she sees the knife.
There it
she
is.
sees the Ghostface knife. And she fucks him up. Like, she has the most brutal kill in this movie. Was Richie at the hands of Sam? Yeah, I did.
Don't
I'm
put that in
keeping
the
that
video. Please.
She had the most brutal kill in this movie against Sam, or against Richie,
Oh, fuck.
as
Oh, yeah.
Sam Carpenter, aka Sam Loomis. Dr. Sam Loomis? Holy shit.
What?
Holy shit. How did that just dawn upon me? Dude.
Oh, my God.
Her name is technically not. She's Sam Carpenter, John Carpenter. She's Sam Loomis. Holy shit!
How
Just hit me.
fucking weird.
Holy shit! But
That's
she
crazy.
sees it, and he's kind of maybe a little corny, just like, yeah, get it. It's in your blood to be a psychopathic murderer. She's always concerned about that coming out, and it did come out for a minute because
Sure did.
I don't remember how she ended up getting him. She stabbed him where, in the leg first?
In the mouth.
Was that the first stab?
Yeah.
Because, dude, he ends up on the ground. He got stabbed.
Right.
He's, what about my ending?
She stabs him like 20
she
times before she does
stabs
that.
and stabs and stabs, and there's blood everywhere. And that's when he said, "What about my ending?" And she said, "This is it." And
Like, I kind of
slit-
felt bad for him for a
fucking
second because she's like
throat.
really fucking him up.
Oh, she
But
became
then-
the killer.
Yeah.
At the moment.
Right.
She was. That was the most overkill in the movie.
Yeah.
And I love that layer to it though,
Mm-hmm.
because all right, so the killer, we end up finding out too that Mindy and Chad both did survive, and I knew Mindy did. I could tell based on her wounds. We didn't see her at all during any of that after
No.
she was initially
Yeah, we don't know
attacked.
where the fuck.
She was pretty fucked up, but like I had a feeling she wasn't dead, and we got to see her come out on the stretcher, and we got to see the news reporters at Billy's house.
Mm-hmm.
And we got to see that Chad did survive. Now it's gonna be crazy going forward because every Scream movie, if they continue this story to keep going, every time you're still gonna be thinking Sam has it in her to be the killer, which will be a new layer, which will be fantastic. But you know, they got revenge for Dewey. Sidney and Gale, they're happy. They could show up if they needed to, but they don't have to. In future movies, I feel like they could continue with these 4 characters that did end up surviving and start a new something somewhere, and I'm all for it.
Mm-hmm.
I think the movie handled it all very, very well as a requel, a reboot, a sequel.
The only thing I'm mad about is that Stu was not in it.
I was very upset.
Very, very, very
upset
sad.
that we got a good amount of Billy here and there. A good amount of Skeet,
You get it,
good
like,
amount of
why
Billy.
would you put his house in there?
Why couldn't you just give us something?
Something.
Just a little something. Even if like she's just seeing her dad like she did in like reflections and stuff, and just behind him is just crazy Stu. It would have felt so good.
Right.
We got his house. We got the set piece worked. The nostalgia wasn't too overbearing. I think it was just right. The meta was on point. I think this is my second favorite Scream movie.
So
I've
good.
talked myself into it for certainly. This is my second favorite Scream movie. It's hard to top the original because it was so original. I'm interested to go back to see if there are more clues throughout that we didn't see. You never know. Because Richie was so funny going through the movie and he'd never seen Scrab, and watching it, I loved his character, but I always knew the whole time he could probably be the killer, and he was. So maybe you can say predictable, but I also thought Tara was. I also thought Liv was. I also thought Amber was. Like, so it played off well for me.
It really had you like, who the fuck is it?
It's my favorite since the original. I hate to be cliche about it, but it's my favorite since the original. 100%. And I would love to see, I want to see more so much. I want to see more movies. You can bring back Sidney and Gale if you want. You don't have to. I think that sets up the franchise in a good way.
Please bring back Stu.
Yeah, give us Stu's
Like-
illegitimate kid or something. Come on.
I just want Matthew Lillard.
I love Matthew Lillard as Stu. But I love this movie. I hope you guys like this movie. How did you feel about the killers? How did you feel about the reveals? How did you feel about the motivation? How did you feel about the humor, the scariness, all of it?
Were
Let
you
me know
expecting
how you
it to
felt.
be who it was?
Did you guess out the gate like Dewey? Were you Dewey saying, well, he's the killer? He was right. I get it. Were you as heartbroken as Dewey as everybody else? I guarantee you people hate this movie. There are people who hate this movie because of what happened to Dewey.
Oh, yeah.
But Dewey's was the most impactful part of the whole thing. Actually, the 2 most impactful parts were Dewey getting killed and then Sam killing Richie.
Yeah.
Which is amazing for me that move, that was insanity. That
was fucking crazy.
But I can't wait. I can't wait to see how this movie does opening weekend. Can't wait to hear how you guys felt about it, and I really hope we get more. All right, I think that's it. Bridget probably has to go to bed. Be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel. We're gonna do more horror movies and stuff, and I don't even know right now. I'm elated. I'm absolutely elated. And until next time, bye.
Bye.